All right. Good morning and good night. Welcome to the Body Snatchers podcast. I'm Steve, not here, and across from me is Poetry in Motion. Jay, what's going on?
Hey, I'm feeling good. Halo's out. The world is in a better place.
That's right. And we're gonna do a double today, pretty much. Our next show is gonna be our views and our likes and our cons and everything that Halo did to just mess up our week with their awesomeness. But right now we're just gonna talk. We're just gonna shoot the shit. Um, the first thing that comes to my mind, and we've been messaging back and forth, is what's up with your Rockstar games, man?
Ooh, they going through it, and then it's just bad for them right now because you it's blatantly obvious that it's just a cash grab at this point. You know what I
Well, no
mean?
shit, it's Rockstar. They've been giving you the same game for 7 years. You're like, well, what's this?
Yeah, it's bad though. Because I was looking at it, I saw a video where people were breaking down just how bad the definitive edition is, and
Yeah.
it's like wow, it's almost unbelievable. Like it's really bad.
Listen, their latest GTA game, and I'm not talking about the remakes or the redos, has been out for a damn near a decade now, right? It's been
Hmm.
a long time. But
It's
that game is amazing.
right.
But they keep releasing it, and updating it, and it's still making bank.
Yeah, and
So,
still charging full price on the newer consoles that come out on.
it,
Mm,
exactly. So why you expect little Johnny and Jane to go over here and yell at them for not making a new game when they keep giving you the old game full price and it's selling like crazy? They're not going to make no new games, and they're not going to put an effort into any new games, just like
yeah,
here. So this
yeah.
one was pretty much a copy and paste, all right?
So it was and it wasn't. It was certain things. So the people that they used to actually develop the definitive edition, quotation marks around definitive, they were actually people that work on mobile games. So you can tell that they were trying to use whatever cheap way, the cheapest route that they could take to build this game. You can tell that that's what they did because, for example,
Uh-huh.
you're in GTA, you're in a helicopter, and you see cars off in the distance. In old school GTA, you can see a car, pull up on it, and the car is actually there. And the definitive edition is just a video. It's just like a quick little like silhouette of cars, and they'll
Right.
have cars going the same way on the street, and then they'll just disappear into each other. Like it's just a 3 second clip that they're showing you over and over again to have the illusion of traffic moving in the distance, but it's not. It's just weird.
It's so disappointing because when it came out, like at 2 a.m., I seen a video of a guy that couldn't play it. He was playing San Andreas, and he couldn't play it in the rain. He said that when it rained, he couldn't see anything around him. It was like one of those like dreams that people have, to where it's like boom and there's a spotlight on him and you can't see anywhere in the room.
Hmm.
That's
That's
that's how
rough.
the rain looked. And when I was watching a video, like it was at night, it was riding the bike, and then when it rained, everything disappeared. And it was just like PS1 rain graphics. And I was like, oh man, that's they found one. They were always gonna find one glitch. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
people out there hunting for them. And then I just the next day it was over with.
He said just
Everything was bad.
bombarded. Yeah, it's all bad. They have the Rockstar logo as a pool in San Andreas. I think it was San Andreas. And they did the logo wrong. Like it was
What
supposed
do
to
you
be a
mean?
five. It was supposed to be, how it's the R and then it's the 5 point star. In the
Yeah.
definitive edition, they left off a point, so it's only a 4 point star. So it's like what are we even doing here? Like who signed off on this?
It doesn't look like it was tested. It just looks like it was created. Like, here's what we
Yeah.
want to do. Here's what you need to do to make it, next gen, and just make it look nice, smooth it out, and then push it out.
Yeah, it was definitely just we're gonna just push it out, get it out. And I don't really understand why they rushed it because this is no way that this is okay. Like it's bad. Like the character models are just janky as hell. Like it's rough.
And they did rush it. It was announced, and then a couple months later, it was released. And
Yeah.
I guess they thought, like, hey, you know what we can do? for no reason, because we're not hurting for fucking money. Let's just take these games and just remake them. Bam. Just throw them out there. And all we got to do is just, get these texture packages up, just
Hmm.
sharpen some things and just copy and paste, boom, throw it out. If it worked then, it's going to work now. So what's the problem?
It's sad to see because it's like I said, it's a blatant cash grab.
Yeah.
And because it's a cash grab, because not only did they put this crap out, they took the older games off the store. So if you didn't already download the older, like, you know how they had them, you can buy them on the newer gen systems, but it was the old school San Andreas 3 and Vice City. Um, they took them from the store, but they've been getting so much blowback from this that they was like, all right, you're right, it was pretty terrible. We're gonna put this back out on the store so y'all won't send us any bombs in the mail because it's bad.
And when a game has to be taken off the store, and Cyberpunk, we're going to talk a little bit about that later because something exciting happened with Cyberpunk, but it came out like people on PS4s couldn't play it. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I'm like, all right, I started calling them poor, I started talking some shit. But like then don't release it on that console if you're not ready. Don't release it at
Right,
all
right.
if these things are happening. And it wasn't just people on PS4, PC, next gen consoles, they were all having problems, audio, visual, game breaking issues that you got to take that you got to take that off. You can't be selling people that cuz that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I wonder how much money they made from the definitive launch. Like how much money they made, even though obviously nobody likes it. There's getting not. I guess it can't even be review bombed. It's just it just shipped in shitty state. So it's just everybody's score is reflecting that. But like I wonder how much money they still made, even though this is as terrible as it is, because I don't know if you saw some people modded the game. Some people modded the older game. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was the older game or the definitive edition, but it looked so much better than what they did with it. And so Rockstar sued them. They was like, "Take it down, or I'm on your ass because
Right.
y'all can't do a better job than us." Like
Right. Right. Take it
it's just a
down.
bad look.
Take it down. And what are you doing Saturday?
Right, right.
Never mind,
Because
just take it down.
you might just have a job interview lined up. You don't even know it.
Right? You want to lose money or you want to make money? That's up to you. Here's my number.
Like it's crazy, and it's just like is it enough for people to be like, all right, Rockstar, you on my watch list? Because I feel like EA has had enough bad games where people be like, oh, it's EA, y'all not gonna get me
What are
with
you gonna
another
do?
launch. Yeah, and it's just like people. I've been hearing people been having problems with Battlefield, so I was like, you know what? I'm glad I waited, because if you go back, I was just like the difference between the Halo beta or
Uh-huh.
the test flight and the Battlefield. I was like, I definitely felt the difference. I felt that Halo was more together than Battlefield was at that moment. And look, Halo, the multiplayer was able to come out a month early and it's fine. And you hearing all the problems with Battlefield right now. So it's rough. They
So
got to do better.
the trilogy Metacritic gave this horse shit a 0.5,
Oof.
which is literally like that's no good.
No good. Like I can't
Like
even
you
lie.
get a 0.5 for spelling your name right. That's about it, Ben.
Yeah, like it's just like they took the soul out of the game, like for sure. Because you know how you can hit the gym, you can get big, you can go hit the punching bag and stuff in San Andreas and all that. Now,
Yeah,
if you were to go try to hit the punching bag in the remake, the bags don't even move. They're just simply just there for you to look at. And if you go to try to punch it, you'll glitch into it, you'll get stuck. Like,
that's unacceptable.
yeah,
That's no good.
it's no good. Like it's
No
like
good.
you that's a blatant like fuck you to everybody who bought this. Thanks for the money, but it's too late.
And it's a shame that this is even something that we have to talk about because WWE 2K22 just released a video that they were supposed to release in January, but the title is "We Just Couldn't Wait to Show You," and it looks mind blowing. It looks
Mhm.
like you would want it to look. Like you can't do any better. But you go in the comment section and people literally don't know how to act.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I was in prison for 20 years, but I changed my ways. You want to hang out? And then, everyone's just, just sitting down. They're making up excuses not to look at it. They don't know what to do. There's no bad comments about the video, but there's no good comments about the video because of what they've
Mm-hmm.
done in the past. And how does this game, like, maybe it's a problem with testing, like how this game is tested and reviewed before you actually release these games. I
Right.
actually think there isn't none. Once it's done with, it's done with. Boom,
Mm-hmm.
send it out. That's
Send
what
it
I
out.
think. That's what I think happens. And there's just too many people on the project to where it's not just one person being like, "Hey, did anybody check this out? Were there any problems?"
Right, right. I
Like,
mean,
did it
but there has to be some form of accountability somewhere. Like at the end of the day, some stuff. I mean, I guess they say it's functionable because you can move around, you can shoot people, sure, but it's just like at what cost? You know what I mean? Like at what impact? That's what I want to know. What impact is this going to have on the Rockstar legacy? You know what I mean? Because
right?
they could do no wrong for the longest, even though they've been selling the same game for 10 years, like you've been saying, full price. But everybody loves it. It's cool.
Right. And I may be talking shit. Maybe people, they like their Grand Theft Auto. They don't want it to change. They don't want it to go nowhere. They like the constant updates. Maybe the constant updates, in a way, is their next Grand Theft Auto. Maybe they've had so many different versions of it because of the updates that we just don't know about. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But shit like this, you can't be doing that. And there
Yeah.
has to be some kind of consequence to it. Like, if they, I don't know, man. They really need to fix this, and even like Cyberpunk, we're about to get into that. Even after you fix everything and make it perfect, people are still gonna hit you. They're still
Yeah,
gonna
that first
reason.
impression is still going to be what comes to mind first.
So enough about blaring on GTA. They are talking about bringing out massive updates though, and they're trying to like convince Steam and I think the PlayStation Store to put it back on after these updates.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there's vigorous changes they put. So
Look, I'm good. You're not getting none of my money. I've seen
right,
enough.
right,
I've
I'm
seen
good.
enough.
One and done. One and done. I want to talk about the 2021 Video Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk has been nominated, and people are flipping out. And
Right,
people
wait.
don't.
Nominated for what? What are we talking about?
Okay, so it's nominated for best score in music.
Nah. All right,
Nah,
but
nah.
yeah,
Okay,
I nah.
here's where I pump my chest for best role playing game.
Mm.
Not
Look,
game of the year. It's not going to be game of the year because that'd be silly.
yeah.
But best role playing game. Now, my
Hmm.
argument is just like what GTA is going through right now. Although we've already played these fucking games before. So
Almost 20
like,
years ago.
yeah,
Like,
20 years ago we played these exact games and then you re-released them. They didn't work. I feel like that's the end of that story. You're not going to get
yeah.
nothing more out of these games. But Cyberpunk, brand new project, came out, hyped to the heavens,
Mm-hmm.
and for the first month, it was just a mess with glitches and audio bugs and game bugs and breaking and corruption, save points, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And they ended up fixing it. There's no problems now. If you downloaded it on your PS3 or whatever you have that, you refuse to evolve with the rest of us, and it's on that system, it's going to play pretty good. You're going to have a pretty good time. And the game itself is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if you turned it on now, it would be like a combination of Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto,
Mm-hmm.
every Fallout, every cool role playing game, and it's going to be smooth as hell, and it's going to sound great. Especially if you have the benefit of ray tracing, you're just going to be in some kind of strange dreamland with it. And people are upset because it's had problems at the beginning of
Yeah.
its release. And I understand that because a lot of people got the problems. They couldn't play it. They tried to return it, or they did return it, never went back to it again. And now you see
Mm-hmm.
this game getting awards. I can see how they can get a little upset.
Yeah, yeah, because that first impression is what sticks with them. They're just like, look, I tried that and I did not have a good time. It's bad. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know what other nominees they would have for best RPG for this year. I'm kind of blinking on that, but you
I gotta
know,
look it up while you're talking.
yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that plays out, because I saw like people were upset that they feel like Forza was getting snubbed from the Game of the Year awards, or just the Game Awards in general.
It's a
But I'm
car
like,
game. I drive to work. Fuck out of here.
yeah, I was like, it's the tail end of the year, so it's like, I mean, I kind of get why it wouldn't be on there. You know what I mean? So, and like you said, it's a driving game, so they feel like if people did that, they'd be like, "Oh, Microsoft in their pocket. This is bullshit." You know what I mean? So we'll just have to see. Time will tell. Um, I don't know, but best score in music, like when I think of score, and when I think of RPG music,
Uh-huh.
like I'm humming them while I'm at work. I'm having a good time. I'm just like, man, I can't wait to go home. Not once, ever, almost was it something that I heard from Cyberpunk. Like, I don't know. I don't know
I
about that
remember the
one.
music was decent, but I couldn't give you a jingle if you asked me.
Yeah, like not a single anything. Not a tune, a melody, chord progression, anything else that has to do with music theory is not. I don't know. Maybe just because it's that cyberpunk music, so there's like, oh, it's new and exciting. You know what I mean? Like I can see that, but
So I got your best role playing game, the nominees.
mhm.
So you got Cyberpunk 2077, which is what we're talking about. You got Monster Hunter Rise. You got Scarlet Nexus. You got Shin Megami Tensei 5. Never heard of that. They might be making that one up just to fill the slots. And then you got Tales of Arise. Tales of
Okay.
Arise, I have heard good things. I haven't
Mhm.
played it yet, but looking at the screen grabs of it, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So let me ask you,
mhm.
what makes a good role playing game? It's not the mechanics,
Right, right.
it's
So
not
yeah,
the music. So
so I would say for me it'll be like it's the story. It's what you get out of it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of funny that Cyberpunk is having all the troubles that it had coming out, and the game is about, corporate greed and all that. And then it was really just because they just wanted to push the game out. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to
right.
delay it. They didn't want to keep delaying it. And like, I'm sure all the investors just like, man, push this shit out. I want it before Christmas. I want my Christmas bonus money. You know what I mean? And it's just funny that the story of that game is kind of the story behind the company. Like like it's just kind of funny how that played out. But yeah, I need to feel something. You know what I mean? Like I didn't necessarily feel anything in Cyberpunk. So yeah, but it wasn't one of those RPGs like a Final Fantasy or something like that. You laugh, you cry, but I didn't get any of that from Cyberpunk. Like the feels weren't there for me, so that's why I have a problem with it being I don't see it winning RPG of the year, but what? I'm just one man. Who am I?
Right, right. That's for, nomination in that sense. I
Yeah.
see, Cyberpunk aside, which all I'm arguing is I can see it being a nomination. Winning, probably not, because we can't like decipher what song was even in there. So, and it's not like it's in there for Game of the Year. And I'll tell you Game of the Year in a second. But Death Loop, what do you know about that? Because it's in almost every category this year.
Right. So the only thing that I know from Deathloop is that as of now, it's a PlayStation exclusive. I'm not sure if it's on PC yet, but
Right.
but I have been seeing a lot of it. It's basically from what I've seen, you could be stealthy. It's kind of like you can play it your way and do different things, and death isn't necessarily the end. You get what I'm saying? And so that's why
Yeah.
it's so death loop. You run around, kill some people, get killed. Like, all right, let's try to do it a different way. And definitely from what I've seen, the playthrough that I was watching, the guy was doing more like a stealth playthrough, or trying to at least. He failed a couple times, but it was cool. It was definitely cool to see. You know, just the like I said, I'm a big traversal guy, so the way that you move across the map is not necessarily like anything new, but it just feels nice. It looks like it feels nice. I haven't played it, so I can't speak from first person experience, but it looks pretty cool though.
So best multiplayer, I want to read this to you. Back for Blood,
Okay, all right,
Knockout City.
okay.
It Takes Two, which I played with the missus, and we had a pretty good time. We almost
Mm-hmm.
beat it, but you know how relationships are. Shit.
Yeah, man. Look, I see. I get my wife to play. I get Monica to play. Back for Blood with me. So
Yeah.
that's a great like. That's definitely a great co-op game. You know, you'll be in there sweating, getting the zombies on there are ridiculous. Because you know how Left 4 Dead had the 4 zombies, like the 4 special zombie types, but
Yeah.
then like each of the 4 types has variations. So it's like it's kind of weird. It's like oh, it's so much stuff. Like I don't even try to name him. I'm just like big buddy, and I'm just running around like it's just bad. But I love it. I'm definitely been having a blast. You know, the baby's at the grandparents' house for the day. I'm definitely gonna be like, hey babe, we got to get Back for Blood. It's time. It's
Let's
time.
go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Monster Hunter Rise. I played Monster Hunter World with the Gia when she was not at war,
Mm-hmm.
and the potential of that multiplayer is pretty fun. Like you can split up, you can have like a captain given jobs, you can be a support player, you can do all that. I can see how like that, Monster Hunter mechanics can turn
Yeah.
into a very good multiplayer.
Yeah, my only problem with Monster Hunter it just been the controls. It just felt clunky to me in the way. You know what I mean? Like, like compared to any other game that you would have, I guess just because of those big monsters and you're just a little person, so it kind of plays tricks on you. I don't know, like, but it just feels weird for me. So that's I could never get into Monster Hunter. Like I tried a few different ones. I tried World. I tried. It was one on GameCube. I can't think of the name of it, but like I just couldn't get into it. The controls just didn't sit well with me. It didn't
It,
feel good.
like we said, there's too many good games. You're not gonna be able to get in all of them. Valheim is
Oh
on
yeah.
there,
Oh
and
yeah.
we did pretty good in that. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Controls are a little clunky, but like if you get a crew in there, or even just you and somebody else, it's a pretty good time. If you can get past the controls and how they feel and how they move, it's a very good time. And the last one is New World, which
Nice.
that is my main right now, and aside from Halo, which we're going to talk about in the next episode. But New World is on there, and I remember you telling Willie that you would get it. Now, if you want to be a liar, Jay, that's your business. That's your
No,
business.
I got you. Let me pull up Steam right now. Let me pull well, I'm not gonna pull it up, but I'm
Right.
looking at it. I see the Steam icon. Soon. Hashtag soon.
Okay, you do whatever you want, but I just want you to know. And before we get off this, because I want to tell you about an indie game I found that just blows my mind. Game of the year. I'm just gonna go through it. Deathloop is on there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna read more about that later, because if it's on Game of the Year, there must be something to it. It Takes Two, and I think the reason Takes Two is on there is because of how easy it is to play,
Mm-hmm.
how well it looks, how well it runs, all that stuff. But the cool thing is, if you buy that game, you can
Mm-hmm.
invite somebody that hasn't bought the game. So instead of two people buying it so they can play together, one person does, and you just invite the other person.
Ah, okay, okay. Because it was another game that was like that. It was the one where you escape prison back in like the 40s or 50s or something. It was called A Way Out. It was the same
Yeah.
exact way. Like I'll buy the game, you
Uh-huh.
download the demo, and then you get the whole game or something. You
You
know
get
what I
the
mean?
whole
But
game.
it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
And I think that's phenomenal that game companies are doing that. And if more game companies do that, I guarantee you couples over here, or two buddies that, like these kind of games, they're gonna
Hmm.
definitely start doing that. So I hope I see more of that. Metroid Dread.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much on that to be
No,
honest.
me neither. I don't know if it's on there, but Psychonauts 2?
Yeah, that's a good one. Like my thing with Psychonauts 2, it just doesn't feel like anything else. It's the complete opposite of like a cash grab. You know what I mean? They didn't
Yeah.
do it. They didn't do it for the money. They did it for the love. They did it for the story. Like just the world itself and the way that they have it set up. They put a lot into it. So I'm glad that it got nominated because it definitely isn't. I wouldn't see it being like a ultra popular game just because it's not a first person shooter or something. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's what the masses kind of go to. But it's great. Like
So
awesome little adventure game.
I played Psychonauts 1, and it was virtually unplayable.
Hmm. I
And
believe it.
then I hear everyone playing Psychonauts 2, and them loving it, and now it's on the list of game of the year, which there's only 6 games on there. So it makes me think like maybe I'll go back to 2 and figure it out. Maybe I don't need 1. I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe
yeah. No, they'll give you a good little summary, a little catch up for the first one. Then you can just jump right into the second one. I feel like they kind of had to do that just because the time between the two titles was so massive. You know what I mean? Like everybody that plays video games might not even been alive when the first one came out. You know what I
that
mean?
that is true. And I want to tell everybody that you can always YouTube the first game if you're going to get into the second one. There's no shame in that. You don't got to watch the gameplay. You just got to know what's going on with the
Mm-hmm.
story. Give yourself a recap, and then you can play it. I told people, hey, do it in Kingdom Hearts if you want to. You want to play Kingdom Hearts 3, but you don't want to go through the other 10 games. You can do that with Kingdom Hearts. Just go on YouTube, look at the cutscenes, look at the story, and you can get everything out of Kingdom Hearts 3 that you would if you played it. So that's just me. I feel like you can do it. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That's a PlayStation exclusive. Those
Mm-hmm.
games are bangers. I don't care where they are, what they're coming out. Those games are so good, and I hope they come out on Steam soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see, man. They got the little PlayStation PC logo in the works, so I have a feeling this is all going to be coming along. When it comes to PC, I definitely will grab it. I'm not in a rush to go get it because it's a 10-hour movie. You know what I mean? Kind of, sort of. But I always loved Ratchet and Clank though. Like that's always been my go to.
100%. Those games are so fun to play. The Jack and Daxter, the Ratchet
Mm-hmm.
and Clanks, the reboot. I played on PS4. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't stop playing it. It was so fun, so smooth, so satisfying, so animated,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, I hope they make more of these. And they did, thank God. If I was to get my hands on a PS5, that would be one of the first games I buy. So it should be in there. And then the last one is Resident Evil Village, which I have played
Mm-hmm.
from beginning to end. And I got to say that game, that's my first Resident Evil game I ever played.
Really?
And I just want to, it felt amazing.
Yeah.
Like just the gameplay, the horror aspect, the giant
Mm-hmm.
MILF that you had to kill. All of it was just like, it's unbelievable. Like they put so much money, they put so much time, they put so much effort into it. You put your settings on high, the way this
Mm-hmm.
furniture looks, the way the wall looks, the way everything sounds, the way the gun feels, the way the bullets look when they hit somebody. You hit them in the
Yeah.
shoulder, they react in the shoulder. You hit them in the jaw, they react in the jaw. And I feel like this was going to win some kind of award at the end of
Right.
the year. So I'm glad it's up there.
Yeah.
But
'Cause he said that level of detail is just too insane.
dude, it's all about the detail. All about the
Mm-hmm.
detail. So, what are we at? We're almost at time. I want to tell you about this game. It's not out yet, but the demo is on Steam. I think you see me playing it in Twitch. Steve
Uh-huh.
not here, by the way. Before before we were doing this, and it's called Spider Heck, and the demo's out right now. They have no release for it because they want it to be released and done right. Imagine that.
Right. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, it's a physics-based brawler, but you're a spider. Now, when I
Mm-hmm.
first picked this up on keyboard and mouse, you can put the controller in too, but I use keyboard and mouse. Just the way the web slinging feels, it's like if you're really good at it, you can swing just like Spider-Man all through this level. You can be untouchable even because I
Nice.
did it a couple times when I was holding my breath,
Mm-hmm.
and the spider sticks to every surface, so you can swing up, under, go under, grab a weapon, and the spider has like some kind of force ability to where it can grab objects, bring them, and throw them.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So and I don't know if it's connected, but there's also weapons like a lightsaber, there's a shotgun, there's a rail gun, there's stuff like that, and it's pretty much you have to survive this horde. That's the mode I played. You can
Mm-hmm.
play co-op, so there's obviously stages and bosses and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or there's verses and verses to where you just keep going rounds and rounds and rounds against each other.
Hmm.
Now, there's a game on Switch now. It might be on Steam too. I haven't checked, but it's just called Stick Fight. And what it is it gives you can double jump, you can hit, you can pick up a variety of weapons, and you pretty much just got to destroy the other person. But there's over 250 levels to this game. So you just keep on going over and over, dying and dying, and it's up to 4 players. And like you can slam each other. It's like these physics based brawlers
Mm-hmm.
are pretty much you're gonna be seeing them a lot more because they're not only like party games, but it's what I like to call very clippable moments. Back before
Right,
everybody
right.
streamed and everybody had, screen share, it would be these moments to where everybody would always save and show their friends and show their buddies. You got a lot
Mm-hmm.
of them like that. I mean, there's this one game, and I'll look for it later, but it's this fighting game that I seen online to where you literally control the limbs of your person.
Okay.
So I think I showed you this one time to where you have to walk. You
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about walking, you have to worry about standing, but you have to worry about blocking and swinging too. And when you get two very good players, you pretty much have an exchange
Right.
that simulates an actual fight between two people. And I think that that's amazing. But
Yeah.
in the indie world, Spider Heck is going to be one of the funnest games that people are just going to be able to pick up and play and do some amazing things.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out. I'm gonna definitely check out the Spider Hack because, like I said, I'm all about the traversing, the how you move around the world and stuff. So that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I like ultimate control too.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I didn't really go back to Valheim. It's not a big deal. Not
Mm-hmm.
that New World has any control like that, but I like games to where you can float, you can move if you want to, you can do anything, you can twist, you can turn, you can be as fast as bad as you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's really important in games. I think that that's a little bit in VR too right now,
Yeah.
but I like games to where you can be as good as you want to be with every movement. You know what I'm saying? It's not just pushing A. It's
Right.
it,
Right.
it's how you push A. Pretty
You
much. That's the
said,
only way I can
did you
explain
press it or did you tap it? There's a difference.
it. Yeah. So you know that's all I got. I want everyone to try it, everyone to play it, and I want everyone to tell me about it.
Yeah, look, I love it. I love it. I want everyone to do us a favor and give us a like, give us a dislike if you hate it on whatever you're listening to us at because it helps. You will be surprised at how much it actually does help. So,
Exactly. And if you need links, go to bodysnatchersmedia.com. Everything's there. You have a Spotify, we're there. YouTube, we're there. Podbean, Stitcher, Pandora, whatever. We
all
got
that
in
stuff.
everything. We got in everything.
iHeartRadio, we found a way.
Right. I love radio too. Thanks for saying that. Oh, you're talking the app. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know that was still around. After those Green Day lads started yelling at it, I never heard about it again. So I'm glad they're
You're right.
still up.
You're right. They definitely been laying low.
Yeah,
They
but
like,
we
look,
are on iHeartRadio.
yeah, they was like, look, you know what? We got our following. We're not gonna make any waves. If you here, keep rocking with us.
There you go. So we're out, but our next episode is strictly gonna be on Halo Infinite, the multiplayer beta, I may add. But we're gonna give our likes, our dislikes, what we thought about it. We've played it for hours, so we're gonna give our take on that. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be out very, very soon via Tino. So take care of yourself. We're out.
All right, peace.
Later.